cutters. Let's really quickly talk about tomatoes again. If you've been following me since last year, then you already know this about tomatoes, but if you are new, you don't. So let's talk about this tomato plant in particular. All right, this one has some really low branches. You see those there? That can lead a plant to have root rot, bud rot, all kinds of issues. You do not want those lower branches on your tomato plant, so you need to come and prune those off. You also need to prune off what these are called. These are suckers, and they grow in basically the armpits of the plant. So anywhere in between the branches, this one has quite a few of them, you're gonna pull those off. Suckers are actually plants in and of themselves. If you actually root these or put these in water for a few days, these will start growing little roots on them and can become a separate plant. So you can multiply your tomato plants by quite a bit by just planting. Like, this is a pretty nice sized sucker. So if I wanted more of these tomato plants, which I don't because I already have a lot, but if I wanted more, I could just put that in water, in a cup of water for a few days with some sunshine. And when it starts getting these little white, you can kind of already see it's already got little white hair looking things on it. Those are roots, and it can be planted, and you can actually succession plant for free from your tomato plants, which is a nice thing to be able to do. I don't want it, however, so I'm going to toss it down. But these lower branches on tomato plants are not necessary. Anything below the line of your flowers. So I'm actually looking to see, I have one tomato plant over here with flowers. These are still, I was late planting this year. So let me run over here to my tomato plant with flowers. So this is my tomato plant. You see where it has flowers on it. This one has also suckers. I'm gonna find the first flower line, which it looks like it was here, but some rabbits got my flowers. Any branches growing below the flowers can be trimmed off. That gives health and life to the production of the fruit, and it allows the tomato plant to produce the fruit and focus on that instead of all of these underlying branches that offer nothing to the plant. Also, any branches touching the ground, you want to pull those off. Having those off helps the tomato plant be able to fight disease, and that is what you want. Look at that big old sucker. There's a big old sucker right there, and you can already see where it's already got some like root-like legs on it. That sucks life from the plant. So any of that you could pull off and transplant, if you want to transplant it, you can do that. But any of these lower branches, so that was my bud line. So anything lower than that comes off. Anything above it can stay, except for suckers, which you have to regularly, there's one right there, you have to regularly look for and pull out of what looks like the armpit of the plant. They will suck the life out of it, which is why they're called suckers. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna prune my tomatoes. I did this last year and got a gorgeous, bountiful harvest with absolutely zero disease problems because I headed it off before disease could set in. The last thing you want is to have a nice, healthy crop of tomato plants and then all of a sudden, boom, you've got a disease hitting them. So I'm just gonna pull them off. I'm actually just gonna set them down and let them become part of the soil. And that is how you prune your tomatoes. Now let me run back over here because I wanna show you. This is usually largely a no-no, but the toppers came off of my watering system, so they're just spraying freely up in the air. Tomatoes need to be watered from the bottom, not from the top. It's better if their fruits do not get wet, but since these don't have fruits on them, I'm not gonna worry about it. But I am gonna pull off all of these low-lying branches here.